Hello, welcome back. We're moving into a different section of the workbook for students today with lesson 231. And as you may have seen, from this point on, there is very little commentary involved. Isn't that exciting? Right? It's all about experience. So the commentary, which may have occupied a page and a half of text or 2 pages of text, several words, lots of explanation at earlier stages of the journey. It's now very, very succinct, isn't it? And I invite you and encourage you to read more than once the prelude to these ideas. Right now, in this section of the workbook, we're doing 10 ideas which have a common theme. And we looked very, very recently at a common theme in the form of a question. They're in the form of a question right now, and that was, what is forgiveness? Now we enter into 10 lessons with the theme, what is salvation? So this is a short bit of text here that you can read, and I invite you to do it every day before you practice and put the day's idea in this context. Is essentially salvation is a promise made by God that we'll find our way back to him at last. So that's what it is a promise that we'll find our way back. This is what a spiritual journey is. It's a journey back. And of course, we discover we're simply using the word journey, which to us connotes movement from a place, one place to another. And we realize there's no place. Journey is just a word, it's a symbol for what we're doing, and we're opening. It's an opening, it's a removal of layers of clouds, of fog, of gunk, of barriers, some of which may seem physical and highly formidable, like a wall, like a steel wall or a brick wall. It may look and feel impenetrable and so thick that we're unable to see in the present moment. And spiritual practice is walking through that. It's recognizing the barrier's unreality. It's allowing ourselves to experience the peace of God, which we come to discover is who we are. So lesson 231 it's very, very interesting. And as you will have noticed, in these lessons, there is an italicized paragraph that is in the form of a prayer. And then there are some comments that are not italicized. And one day, the italicized portion might appear first, followed by the commentary. Other days, it's flip-flopped. So today, it's the italicized prayer first. And the idea is, lesson 231, again, Father, I will but to remember you. I will but to remember you. Translation, that's the only thing that I will. That's all I want, is the peace of God, to remember you, which is remembering ourself. There is no separation of any kind. If we can say that with regard to all of our brothers and sisters and everything that lives, then certainly we can say the same with God. No separation means no separation. So Let's go through the italicized portion. And again, whether you are reading online or whether you have a physical copy of the book doesn't make any difference. It's the same text, the same words here. I'd like to walk through the italicized prayer here. It's very powerful. And however you choose to practice this today, I really, really want to invite you to take this to heart. I want you to do it. Do you want to do it for yourself? Hope so. I hope so. Yeah. So the italicized portion reads, "What can I seek for, Father, but your love? Perhaps I think I seek for something else, something I have called by many other names. Yet is your love the only thing I seek or ever sought? For there is nothing else that I could ever really want to find. Let me remember you. What else could I desire but the truth about myself?" Isn't that beautiful? What else can I seek for? What can I seek for but the love of God? There is nothing else. So nothing. Yet, what have we been doing? All of us, myself included, yeah, seeking after all kinds of stuff. Now, the fact that I'm no longer alive and these are pre-recorded means I can use a different S word for stuff. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, put the word bull or horse before it. Shall we do that? Yeah, that's the kind of stuff we've been seeking and chasing after. Does it bring us lasting happiness? We've called it by many names: money, prestige, status, fame, more followers on Instagram. Insert shameless plug. Yeah. A better house, right? Bigger house in a better neighborhood, a brighter, faster, shinier new car, a brighter, faster, shinier new lover, flavor of the week, flavor of the weekend, flavor of the afternoon, whatever, right? We've all sought after many different things. We've called this deep search by many names. And how often in this longing, in this quest, have we ever paused to really think about what it is we're really looking for? What are you really looking for? What draws you to spiritual practice in the first place? Yes. Now, having gone through 230 lessons of the workbook for students, we've been shown that the peace of God is what we really want. The question for you is, have you accepted that? Have you internalized that idea, so to speak? Is the peace of God, in fact, all that you want? We're all searching for that. And we look in the wrong places outside ourselves, in a brand new shiny Mercedes Benz, which, by the way, if you want to drop off the keys to me, I'm not going to tell you no. But is that lasting happiness? No, of course not. Right? We look for it in a better, hotter, stronger physical body, a better, hotter, stronger physical body to have sex with and take out on a date. So we're very IG worthy. And we can shoot some hot, sexy TikTok videos and get millions of views, right? Is that lasting happiness? No, it's momentary, yeah. So should we not do it? No, not saying that at all. Should definitely have fun in the world, right? That's a definite yes. However, let us not be deceived about what we're really looking for. Let us not be deceived by the illusion. It's entirely possible to have lots of money. It's entirely possible to have a brand new car. It's entirely possible to have a hot, sexy bod and a hot, sexy lover. All of this is entirely possible while not believing it. Well, seeing clearly based on your own experience, not because I said so or some other teacher said so. It doesn't make any difference what we say, right? Really, it doesn't make any difference what we say if you aren't motivated yourself to have the experience. So we can go through the world appearing to be perfectly involved in it and not believing it at all, because in truth, it is not real. And this thing that you see talking to you, that you hear talking to you, is not me. It's not who I am. It's not who you are either. So we've called this thing by many names, yet what we've been searching for all along is the peace of God. That's all that we've ever sought. When it comes right down to it, that's all we're seeking. It's all we've ever sought. And in future searching, that's all we ever will seek. Deep down, there's a part of all of us that recognizes that this is our identity, capital I, yeah, as we've seen here in the workbook. This is who we are, and it's all we really want to find. You might find a whole hell of a lot of money along the way. Great. I mean, you might get totally ripped and look and feel your best ever in terms of the physical body. You might have that happen to you along the way. And if you do, great. But we're deep down, each and every one of us, looking for is to remember God, to remember ourselves. Same. To remember who we are. Notice the self, capital S. It's not the ego, not the ego. The ego is not who you are. It's not who any of us is. So what else, in fact, could we want but the truth about ourselves? This is a very, very pointed and intense question, isn't it? The course is great for this. I love it. I love it because it keeps throwing it back in your face again and again and again. And if you're asking yourself, well, okay, is this what I really want? Then stay asking that question. Because eventually what's going to happen for each and every one of us, whether it happens today or in 15 minutes, doesn't make the slightest bit of difference. What's going to happen for each and every one of us is that we will, above all else, everything, including the hot, sexy bod, want the peace of God. Above all else, to the point where that indeed grows into a single-minded focus. What's going to happen then? Well, you can just about imagine if you're in a spot where that's truly all that you want. You can just about imagine, right, what's going to happen then and what life is going to look like. Right? There's a part of us that knows the answer to all of this. So many people come to A Course in Miracles, and I'm one of them, by the way. So many people come to this course and they sit down and they go through it, whether they start with the workbook or the manual for teachers, or the text doesn't make any difference. I'm doing the workbook here with you on these video series, but there's a familiarity that if people stay with the course, it's because there's something that rings true here. You're watching me speak to you. I don't know who you are. I don't know where in the world you are, and doesn't really matter at all. There's something deep down inside of you that's listening intently to this message, which, by the way, is not coming from a guy in Phoenix, Arizona named Tomas Garza. No. It's not coming from me. It's through me, right? But there's something universal here, and there's something deep down and powerful about this central message of A Course in Miracles that may very well be holding your attention. And that is 100% worth contemplating, isn't it? It's worth taking to heart, because this is how it is with spiritual practice. As human beings, we get the same message over and over and over and over again in different forms, coming from different people, from different places, through different media. We're super blessed here, by the way, in the 21st century, to have a tremendous variety of media available to us. So when the Holy Spirit wishes to convey a message, it's going to be delivered in dozens of different ways over a period of time. How long? I don't know. I mean, it really kind of depends, doesn't it, on how long it takes us to get it, to finally answer the call, because as the Course says quite clearly, all of us, each and every one of us, hears the call. Few answer. However, you follow what I'm saying here. Ultimately, every single one of us will answer. So, question for you. I know you're hearing the call. When will you answer it in your heart? Really, truly. When will the peace of God be all that you seek? When will lesson 231, Father, I will but to remember you, become such a dominant thought in your thought system that you hasten toward that? Understanding, of course, that we're not really going anywhere. God is. There is nowhere for us to go. And nevertheless, because we're using words to communicate with each other, we call it a journey, don't we? We call it a journey back, an awakening, enlightenment, spiritual practice. So whatever name you adopt, make it something that resonates with you, right? So that you'll be inspired to practice, so that you'll be inspired to take these ideas to heart. Ultimately, you, along with every other living thing, will want only the peace of God. So is that going to be today for you? All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. And as always, there are more videos to go. So I'll see you soon.